Hello, 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 hello. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Edwin, the Pretty Green Vinyl Guy, and it's vinyl update time. So let's get into it. Got a nice little stack here, some used bins, some reissues. Let's start with something that's pretty common. This is the Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band Live 75 to 85. The box is a little, I think there's a tear right here, but the vinyl is like totally unplayed. I think it just sat on a shelf. Also has the book, which the nice thing about this book is it's got the lyrics of every Springsteen song on here. So Saturday night you want to listen to the boss and sing along at the concert, you got all the lyrics. So yeah, just something nice. Interesting thing about this box set is, a lot of this was arena tours, but it starts with the first three songs are from the Roxy in LA, so small club singing Thunder Road. Fantastic. The Boss live with the E Street Band. This next one is a soundtrack. This is a movie called Revolver, which I never saw. It's Ennio Morricone, and there's a song on this called Un Amico? Un Amico? It's Italian. And my Italian, is pretty rusty these days. Very young Oliver Reed, by the way, in this movie. Anyway, this Un Amico was reused in the soundtrack for Inglourious Basterds. And I'm not sure if this was a record store day thing because it's got the fancy splatter on there. Just took a chance on it. It was in a used bin. And yeah, it's really good. This came out in 2015. Originally in 1973, Revolver. And yet another soundtrack. This is Thom Yorke from Radiohead fame, and this is Suspiria, music from the Luca Guadagnino film. This was a horror movie, I believe. Certainly the music sounds like it was, and this is really kind of, ambient with this kind of electronica ambient background, kind of wall of noise with, like that suspenseful music that you get in a horror film. And then intertwined with that is some singing from Thom Yorke. This is pretty cool. It's on like a pink vinyl. And yeah, just something I took a chance on. I'm a massive Radiohead fan, so if you see something, I've got other Thom Yorke solo albums, but yeah. Suspiria. Probably murdering it. Never saw that movie either. Now this one's totally out of my wheelhouse, but some people have been talking about it, and I mean the cover was worth buying it alone. This is Sturgill Simpson, Cutting Grass, Volume 1. I see there's a Volume 2's just been dropped, and this is bluegrass. And although bluegrass is out of my wheelhouse, being from Ireland, traditional music is definitely not out of my wheelhouse. And of course there's a huge crossover because, that was the immigrants that came from Ireland and settled in the South and brought their banjos and their guitars and their mandolins and violins and fiddles. And hence bluegrass was born. At least that's how I understand it, that it happened. Yeah, Sturgill Simpson. This is the indie store pressing, which came on colored vinyl. Very John Deere color. That's John Deere green, for all of you people that don't know what tone of green that is. That's John Deere green. Yeah, on first listens, it's been very interesting, very good. My wife popped her head into my room and said, "What are you listening to?" Anyway, Sturgill Simpson. Now, as luck would turn out, when I was flicking through the used bin, Sturgill Simpson. I had meant to get this record, this album. This is called Sound and Fury. This is actually up for a Grammy coming up. Whenever they hold Grammy Awards again, I don't know. And I guess this is Sturgill Simpson's rock album. I was looking this up on the internet, and something that was interesting was his sales, record sales. He usually sells around 250 to 300,000 copies in America. This one only sold 75,000. So his country base is obviously not into his rock, although I've only listened to this once. I did have it on Apple Music. This is very good, and I quite liked it. And I think it's just on black vinyl, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Yeah, Sturgill Simpson. Sound and Fury. Great artwork. Love this. Okay. These are re-releases. This is part of that Kraftwerk series that's being re-released. This is Radioactivity. This is their 1975 album. I think it's their 5th album. This is their first fully electronic album. And yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got the book, and it's on a very cool radioactive looking vinyl. That was the original album cover, by the way. The Geiger counter, I guess that is. And this is good. You know, it gets so quiet in places. It kind of makes it eerie, which is, I guess, the whole point. You know, this sort of, you know, this almost gave you the soundtrack to Chernobyl years before it happened, because we all knew it was going to happen, and or they knew at the time. And yeah, fantastic. Love the modern album cover. I did break down and get the Sidewinder, even though I have a really nice Japanese pressing, but I was just really curious to hear what it sounded like. So if you don't know, these are these new audiophile releases of classic Blue Note albums, and this is definitely one of the best guys. Lee Morgan, fantastic. This is Miles Davis from the Music on Vinyl. This was just released. This is On the Corner. This is his soul, funk, street, John McLaughlin's heavy guitar. He's trying to appeal to the young generation that's not listening to jazz. And yeah, this is great sounding. Always loved the artwork on this. Very, very cool. And yeah, super pumped to have that. I have an older copy that had a bit of scratches on it, so this is nice to have that. And also new on Music on Vinyl is Warren Zevon's self-titled, his second album. And it's kind of like a, you know, soft rock, California rock, pop kind of style. This was famous because a lot of people played on this. Jackson Browne, most of the Eagles, David Lindley, Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, Bobby Keys. Just a huge array of top California musicians. What was on this? What if you might have heard of? I'll Sleep When I'm Dead. You know, kind of these like cheeky lyrics he writes, right? Warren Zevon, poor, poor, pitiful me. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Warren Zevon, great to have, great sounding. And last but not least, reissue 50 years, I guess. This is the Kinks, Lola versus... No, sorry, Powerman, Lola... Sorry, they've written it. Lola versus Powerman... Oh my god. Lola versus Powerman and the Money Ground. Take two! Lola versus Powerman and the Money Ground. Of course, this had Lola on it and Ape Man. This was their 1970 album. This is the reissue. Comes with a booklet with, yeah, some of the liner notes and Dave and Ray's perspective on the making of this album. And yeah, there they are, the Kinks. They certainly didn't have the Beatles' good looks, did they? The Kinks. But they could write a good song and play a good guitar, couldn't they? There you go. Lola versus Powerman and the Money Go Round. Finally got it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching my video. We'll see you soon. Bye now.